everybody. Well, we're back in Europe, in my opinion. We're back.
We're the lads.
Welcome to a new match reaction. Unbelievable performance today. We did what we had to do for once. I have to be honest. When I'm critical, I'm critical. But when we have to praise, we have to praise the team. Today was a must-win match, and we certainly did it. We got it done. We got the job done. Beating Brentford, even when things got a little bit tough, we still managed to secure the game. On that, well, obviously no penalty called by VAR correction or whatever. I'm not 100% sure yet, but regardless, 4-2, Guimaraes, Isak, but first Barnes, Murphy, Isak, and then Bruno Guimaraes scoring for the tune and essentially putting us in play for European football next season, the Conference League. We have to see if Man U are going to beat Man City. More than likely not going to happen, but I guess we have to wait and see. So welcome folks. The Mighty Wins reaction is going out. It's a video right now, but go watch that after this show, of course. We've got a long way to go talking about this unbelievable match that we played away at Brentford. Paul, give me your assessment on this game, mate.
Well, I'll tell you what, if there was a game that ever summed up Newcastle's season, I think this might be it. It was a bad start with a goal that we got lucky with being offside because Tony was a bit ahead of play, but poor from our defenders. And then we get back into the game. Our press causes the biggest problem, and it scores us 2 goals because we're pressing and they're making mistakes. So the press is in there, and then you're 3-0 up, cruising, thinking, right, we're 3-0. Let's just professionally see out the game. And you gift them 2 goals. And again, just like Newcastle, we let teams in with our poor defending for no reason. And you're thinking, well, great, we're stuck again. And then we finally get one back. And of all the players to score, and I'm so happy for him, the player that deserves it the most, in my opinion, Bruno scores the goal that kind of seals it for us. Now, I love that because he's the player that's wore his heart on the sleeve the most this season. So it was an up-and-down game. Brentford played their part. I thought they played quite well at times. We played okay at times as well. But at the end of the day, it's just the result that mattered. We got the 3 points that mattered. We finished above Man U, so have some of that. Gold Bridge, where he's moaning on that Ten Hag's the next bloody Zidane and all this rubbish. Right. So they got to go into the FA Cup final. So I can't. Obviously things can happen, but I just can't see City not winning. I just can't not see it. Right. I guess weird things have happened, but good end to the season. If you would have told us at the start of the season, after the relegation fight, when we talk about this, if this is a relegation season after that one, and we got 7th and potential, Conference League, I think we would have been chuffed. With all of the injuries, all of that, this whole season wrapped into one, it's actually a pretty decent season. Actually, when you digest everything, It's not too bad.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Gary, what is your final thoughts on this great performance that today was an unbelievable match, wasn't
it? Yeah. It's been a really strange build-up. Excuse me, to the game. Unfortunately, I only had it on my earphones on the way back from the event, and it sounded quite erratic to start with. It sounded like they had lots of the ball, lots of pressure, and we'd reverted more or less to the let them have 10 minutes, let's have a look at them before we play our part type of game again. We were lucky not to concede, obviously the offside. But once we started to pass the ball, and what I like to see today, and it was something that I hadn't seen for such a long time from the heavy press, and that was getting the ball forward after 1 or 2 touches. I was a bit despondent about the ball going sideways. I love the fact that we keep the ball, but seeing the ball go sideways and then backwards constantly just gets a little bit monotonous, and we lose that momentum. And I think we've lost our momentum over the last half a dozen games, if I'm honest, trying to keep the ball. Today we played differently. Today we had the press. We also had the sharp ball. So it was one touch into feet and then away. And it was lovely to see that. And the ball was directed forward at the most of the opportunities that they had. And so from that aspect, to try and get the one touch behind the defence, you could see that it was only going to be a matter of time before we scored the one. While I was talking about my event today, we scored another one very quickly afterwards. And that you could just see the lads just needed that goal. And that goal was going to create the confidence that come with it. Unfortunately, as the game went on, when people say going in 3-0, you look at individuals just to come out and be professional. Now, we've longed for Joe Linton to come back. He did look heavy-legged in the second half. He took one or two knocks, and Paul made great comments in the commentary there about oh no, and this is the fate of a manager, isn't it? Because you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You bring a player back too early, he's crocked, and it could be a serious career-threatening injury. And it was lovely to actually see him walk off the park and walk without any limps. So from that aspect, I thought it was great. But I still, to this day, and I've said it over and over and over again, and I've defended Longstaff, but I just do not see what anybody else sees. And I'm talking as the management team, not supporter, because I've heard enough of the supporters in the background. I've put on views the statistics of his performance against Manchester United, and I dare say we're going to have a replica today. It's more or less a mirror image. He doesn't get a challenge in. Now, whether he's got a problem with his foot or not, him actually making some inroads to stopping their build-up play helps our back line. Now, depending on where he plays, whether he wants to just make that dally run into the space, which we all love to see him get into the box and have shots on target. Didn't do it so much today. He was a bit more regimented in his late runs into the box. He appeared just outside the box, but he was in no man's land for 70% of the game. He was neither with play or involved in any of the play. He just seemed to find these little pockets. And even when they had the ball, he actually didn't do a lot. There was one or two good things that he did, but nothing that you would think, oh, you know what, he's going to score today or he's going to do something today. We've played with 10 men for at least 5 or 6 games now, without going overboard. He's had a bad season, totally bad season. I loved the fact that we scored 4 goals. I was a little bit upset the fact that they slept and got off the pace a little bit for the second half. Again, it's about man management and it's about player management. And unfortunately, when you're playing with 10 men, because you're carrying one, the pockets of space that they created then, especially with that quick ball through the middle, it was a give and go. The lad just carried on running, hit it first time on right-hand corner. All of a sudden, then you start thinking, hold on, that's going to give them momentum. I thought our defence was a little bit static for their first goal. And again, their second goal, I thought, there was comments about, would Pope be okay diving to his left? As you saw there, it was a full outstretched diving out to his left-hand side, and there was no grimace, there was no tentativity about it. So that's positive to me that lad is now ready to go on and have be our first choice keeper again. Did any of the changes make a difference? No, they didn't. It was again about man management, and it's about seeing out the rest of the game, being a 5-4-1 formation, sometimes dropped into a 6-3-1 formation, and the likely shots. So at the end of the day, we've got the win what we needed. We just got to hope that other teams now do us a favour. And right. It was a massive improvement on the goal scoring side, which is something we just didn't do against Man U. We had the play, we had the opportunities, we just didn't take the chances.
That's right. All right, let me get to Stephen from Raccoon. By the way, Mighty Wayne, I haven't gotten your video yet, so I'll let you know. Stephen, what is your assessment of the game, mate? How did you enjoy it? I'm sure you did.
Well, I only saw the first half because I had to travel to work the second half, and I had no radio commentary for the second half, so I only got in with like 10 minutes to go.
You could have listened to us, man.
Yeah, but the first half, it was really good. I only saw one player and it's let us down a bit, and that was Lewis Hall.
Let us down?
What? Yeah, I think he made a few mistakes that could have led.
Well, let him have his opinion.
But other than that, I think everyone else played really well. The goals we got were the good build-ups to the goals. But yeah, there's, as I said with Lewis, he needs a bit more meat on his toes, and I think his reactions are a bit slow. I think he needs a lot of work over the summer, ready for next season. But overall, what I saw of the game, the first half, we're scoring those 2 goals within minutes of each other. It was actually put Brentford on the back foot. And the second half, I don't know what you said. I didn't see the start of the second half, so I don't know what happened with the 2 goals that were scored. But as you say, we like you say, lacked in the first, at that point to get the 2 goals scored against us. So, but come back and got a goal back, and that's really good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the second half would have solidified your thoughts, I think, on Lewis Hall. I thought Lewis Hall was one of the best players on the pitch. But everybody's got an opinion. Mighty win, I guess. What's your take, mate? Or you want to wait?
The two big takes from me were Pope diving and showing that that's behind him. And again, it's just we finished our dinner today. And that's been our problem, not finishing our dinner. But apart from that, it's just tell me, mommy, ma, we won't be home for tea.
The tea.
We're going to Latvia. Tell me, mommy, ma.
All right. Well, I guess that's your analysis.
Latvia, Estonia, Slovakia, Bosnia, Herzegovina. What's not to like?
That's right. I guess Andy, tell me, man, what do you think about the game tonight?
Right. It's kind of hard because I think more or less everyone's covered the important parts. But I can understand if you've missed bits of the game why Stephen said Lewis Hall, but we've got to remember the ball from Burn to Lewis Hall causes the mistake from Lewis Hall. The ball from Burn is awful. But Lewis Hall's runs on the left side in the second half really epitomised the threat that we haven't had on the left side from a deep area all season. For me, probably, arguably, I mean, Bruno got 2 assists. Isaac's getting a goal and assist, but I think you could argue that Lewis Hall deserves a big mention for having a good game. Joe Linton just changes on midfield. Let's be honest. I mean, Gary was on about it before, Longstaff not getting in the box. You know why? Because he was letting Joe Linton do it. He was literally just being that protector with Bruno, wasn't he? I've got to say this. I'm 38-year-old and I can now eventually say we've finished above Man United. My wife is not happy. Overall, I think as a course of the season, considering everything that's gone, happy, encouragement, but I will say again, we're 3-0 up. We just can't keep the ball. It's not a case of sometimes just keeping the ball, it's controlling the game. Don't let them. I had mimics of Milan in my head. Just keep it when it was 3-2. Just keep the ball. Don't go gung-ho. And as I said it, we played a long ball out to I think it was Jacob Murphy at the side. We lose the ball and Brentford get a break, and I'm like, oh God, no. So I think it's something. If we're gonna compete in the Champions League in the future, and we're gonna compete for top 4, you're gonna lose points in these games where you're not controlling the scoreline or just stopping the opposing team getting some momentum. We've got to work on that.
Yeah, we kind of almost we let them score, and I said this: look, if we let them score one more goal, then they're going to be in the game, and that's not good for us. And sure enough,
one question though for everybody. Yeah. Sorry, Chris, to cut you off. If a player's body is in the box, i.e., on the line, if he's trailing foot behind him, surely that doesn't matter where the contact is. I mean, I'm lost at that. I can get the contacts outside the area, but he's physically in the box. So it doesn't matter where you connect him, you fouled him, the player is in the box. I understand why that's not down.
It's where the foul occurs that's the key, though.
I get that.
His knee catches his back foot outside the box.
But I mean, Dan Burn could be 6 yards in the box with his trailing leg hanging out, and it'd still be outside the box. So I mean, it's I don't get it. I literally, the player is in the box. Yes, he's trailing legs away, but I mean, he's made no attempt to play the ball in any way, shape, or form. And if the attacking player's technically in the box, I think that's a strange decision. I think that's the red tape that we need to get rid of, and I hope they get rid of it.
Yeah,
I'm sick of it.
Yeah, well, it's going to be some changes. I mean, some teams, Wolves started it. They want to get rid of VAR in the Premier League. I don't know how that's going to work out. It certainly would be a good show to have on the channel, which, again, by the way, we're going to continue our coverage of Newcastle United, everything surrounding the club, transfer news, former players. We got a few lined up, and of course, YouTubers. I think that we probably announced that we'll have Alex Hurst on the channel pretty soon from True Faith. And we'll be interacting and chatting it up.
It's from my town, Alex.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, there you go.
He started a big taxi company in Phoenix in Blythe.
Oh, okay, gotcha. You're from Blythe?
Yeah.
Oh my God forbid, man. We keep having people from Blythe here.
He needs a mug. He needs a blood mug.
Last time you visited Blythe?
Oh, man. A lot of good people in Blythe. A lot of good people.
Right.
I moved to Blythe when I was 6 until, 3 years ago, and I moved to Bedford.
Mighty Wayne, where were you born at? Were you born in Blythe?
No, I was born in Durham.
No, I was talking to the Mighty Wayne.
Oh, sorry.
No,
so would you be considered a little... Oh, man. That was probably the only hospital in Northeast at the time.
Banks to the River Tyne.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, man. Well, let's keep chatting it up about the game. And by the way, fans, if you are out there, want to have your say about the game, come on the show right now. The link is in the. I threw the link out there, but I think I pinned it. But if you want to have a say, then just join the link right there, and we'll have a chat. We'll have a chat about the game. I mean, it's listen. I know Kenny W. He was saying, why do we keep saying we're in Europe? Well, look, again. You're busting our bubble. I guess you're entitled to do that. But what are the chances that Man U are going to beat City? You think City are not going to win another trophy? You think City is a better team with their B team probably than Man U?
Should have been Man City in the final anyway.
Right. So I mean, there is a possibility that they might win the game, but and if it is, I guess we can just sit back and talk about what could have gone wrong, or could have gone right, or we could have done right throughout the season. But at least the main task of winning tonight, we did it. We got it done, and then it depends on everybody else whether they do what they're supposed to do. So I'm not at this point. I would like to get Europe. Obviously, I think that's a must. But we've done our job. We've done our job. I don't know. I highly doubt that Man U is going to beat City.
What actually happens if have we qualified for Europa Conference as it stands, but we could qualify for Europa League if Man City win the FA Cup? Is that the way it is?
No, we haven't qualified for anything yet.
So we've got
City has to win
it. We've qualified for the conference.
Go ahead.
If Man United win the cup, they go in the Europa League, and Chelsea go into the conference.
Yeah.
So if Man United win the FA Cup, we're out.
Yeah.
Right. That's right. All right. So Gary Mon is in the stream right now. Welcome, Gary. How are you doing, mate? Hopefully you got your YouTube closed or open but muted.
Yep.
You gotta keep it open, man.
Right, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear you.
loud and clear.
Okay, then. Yep, I've switched YouTube off this time.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, how are you all doing? And you feeling happy?
Oh yeah.
Right, guys,
Very happy.
After all that season of criticizing, can you imagine?
Right. Well, so I want to say then one thing to basically, because it's the last day of the season, and this is directed to all the people all season who have run the team down, the players down, sell this person's shite, this person's no good, get rid of them, Eddie Howe out, and all that crap. And when you consider the players have been playing most of the time with injuries, and what they've done and what they've achieved this season is absolutely incredible. And I don't think that actually there would be many managers on the planet who could have achieved what Eddie Howe's managed to achieve this season with the problems he's had, and he's kept their spirit up. The players have been there for him to the best of their ability, and I just think all the people that have been critical and all the negative comments and everything, sit and hang your heads in shame.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Gary, I mean, if we as fans cannot criticize a team, then there's something wrong with that, isn't it? I mean,
well, yes, I'm not saying that it shouldn't
There's a difference.
be critical, but the thing is, you've got to be sensible about it and realistic,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? And I mean, you've got one poor Longstaff, the flack he's had this season, and he's been doing his best for the team, but he's on injections in his foot to try and get through a match.
I think you're going a bit far now, Gary.
Well, Gary, let me ask you this. He might be trying his best, whatever. But if his best is not enough, then he doesn't need to be on the team, does he?
Well, there's that, but Eddie Howe's the judge of that, not us.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't perform well, and his stats also reveal that, the stats against Man U are.
See, well, I mean, right, Chris, this is a point that can't be disproven, as opposed to one that's factually right. And the thing is, Eddie has basically been in a position where he's had to think, right, what do I do for the best? So he's played these players, and they've assured him, yeah, I feel okay, I'll go out and I'll give it all I've got. Right, so that's the situation that he's faced with, but you can't be critical of the players. I mean, back in December, and we're having to put some of the tea ladies out the canteen on the bench because we were that depleted. So you can't be overly critical of the players, and people just look at what they're presented with without knowing what's really going on in the background and why the decisions have been made, and they come after the event. In hindsight, it's great to say it because then you're more knowledgeable. But all these people who are critical of the team and the players and Eddie's choices, they have no idea at all why those choices are being made and what is really going on in those times behind the scenes. All they say is that the team didn't perform as well. It got to the point where if we weren't beating teams 7-0, we were playing crap. And I mean, it just
I think you're exaggerating there, Gary.
Well, yeah, but to make the point,
tell me, do you think that we haven't got players in our squad who are better than Sean Lang, who could do more for the team than what Sean Longstaff's done this season? Because for me, every time he's played virtually, it's been like playing with a man off.
All right, but what would you say the options were at the time then for to play in that position?
What I would say is that nobody could give less to the team. I'm not talking about personally giving less and trying and whatever, but he's just not good enough.
Yeah. That's the argument, isn't it, Wayne? It's not his commitment.
I'm not disputing his commitment one little bit, right?
Mm-hmm. But remember last season. Remember last season when everybody remarked on we were a lesser team when he wasn't playing. Remember when he got injured and he was out?
Absolutely remember that.
Right.
Well,
people were calling him for the English squad. I mean,
that's exactly. So therefore, he does have the capability. He's just had a bad season, but you can't hang him out to dry just because of that. There's a lot more goes into it, than just he didn't play very well. He's not good enough. Maybe he's to the level that we're hoping to get to. He won't be good enough, and he probably won't be. But the thing is, you can't. I don't know. You can't. I think you're being unfair on the guy to run him down like that, because he's been called upon. He's tried his best, and he's been playing. He hasn't been able to perform at his best for whatever reason. So and I think it's been a bit out of his hands.
Yeah, Gary, I understand. I agree with it to a certain point, buddy. But the biggest thing that you've got to understand is, if you went to see a show and the performers on the stage, you'd paid really a lot of money for this show. The performers on the stage hadn't performed or hadn't sang. When you come out of that stadium or that concert or whatever you've seen, opera or whatever, and we've all been there, we criticise it, don't we?
Gary,
we'll say that wasn't great value for money.
It's a valid point.
So every single season ticket holder, right? Every single season ticket holder has an exact right as anybody else that goes and sees any type of entertainment. Because we are paying good money for that ticket to be entertained by the people on that show. Now, these boys get paid a hell of a lot of money. Now, hold on. I've been involved in a lot of football for 25 years, buddy. And I can tell you now, I agree with 90% of what you're saying. But if a player does not contribute, and this is where we keep saying, for not just one or two games, everybody's allowed a poor game. Not a single player will go through life without playing poorly. Because if they are playing or not doing anything, then they're not contributing to the team. My argument, like I said against Manchester United, you're playing with 10 players. Yep. Even though you've got 11 players on the park, you're playing with 10 players. The emphasis on their ability then gets stretched. Now, if somebody else is carrying a minor knock, it could be 9 players that you're playing with. You're still carrying the bodies on the park without doing anything else. And what I hear and what I get frustrated with is when the 11 then get attacked for not playing well. When in actual fact, when you break it down to statistics, and everybody today plays with statistics, everybody's got that information in front of them. And all I'm saying to you is I agree fully, if this lad has been playing with an injury that has hampered his performances, then the management need to look at that and say, we need to make it better. We can't just keep playing. You certainly wouldn't run a lame horse in every race knowing that you're going to fail.
That's a conversation for you to have with Eddie Howe, though. But anyway, there's a grey area to your point, right? And I take it, right? And it makes sense in itself, right? But you're saying if you go to somewhere, right, and you pay your money and people don't perform, right, and you're going to be critical of it, but you have to make the distinction, right, that there's a difference between show business entertainment, right, so bands, opera, whatever, right, music, dance, any of the arts, right, and a football team. Right now, people aren't going to the football match to be entertained, right? They're going there.
You sure?
No, they're going there to support their team. No, wait a minute. This is the critical
I think they're going for results. The entertainment doesn't matter. It's the results that matter.
He's not contributing the results.
That's what they want. But
that depends. All that depends on each club. I mean, if you talk about Barcelona, they want pretty football over anything. So it depends on the club.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, right? fundamentally, those people are turning up to support their club, right?
Right.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
But why are they supporting the club? Because they were entertained at some point and they built a fondness.
But however,
and
however,
we see them win and be successful, right?
we-
The entertainment side of it, right, is a different issue, but that comes down to the style of play. But you can't demand entertainment. I mean, if that's the way you want, as Newcastle does, you want to see entertaining football. Yes, that's now become an accepted fact, right?
I want to see winning football.
How can that be an argument when we've just set a record for scoring in every home game since 1940, whatever it is? We've been entertaining at home, we've been entertaining away. We've just not,
exactly.
as a cog, as a watch, you have different size cogs, and if one of them cogs doesn't work, as Gary was alluding to earlier, it is like playing with 10 men because you're trying patterns of play and they're not coming off because one player's not good enough.
I agree.
If I'm honest with you, Gary, I wasn't. I agree with you, mate.
When you're talking about the entertainment thing, right? To demand it from a football team as opposed to the English National Opera, is two entirely different contexts.
No. Gary, what I was alluding to was the critiquing side. You're saying to me that I can't critique the people that haven't played.
No, I never said that at all. I've never said that at all. I've never ever said that.
No, you were saying people were getting onto Longstaff's back. Yeah.
Yes.
All I said.
I think unfairly.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. But all I'm saying to you is people are there to see the team performing well. Now, if the team would have won the games, and Longstaff would have still played as poorly as he has done, then there would have been very little said. Correct. Because you're still getting the results. Because it's a result-driven industry, isn't it? And that's what I'm saying. You're going to get a very negative response when you're not getting the results that you're getting. So, unfortunately, the people that get hammered more than most people, and we've heard it on social media as well as in the newspapers and everything else, is unfortunately the likes of Longstaff, who statistically isn't playing well.
I think it's a very short-sighted and blind view, though, by those people, because there's far more goes into, if he's not playing well, there's far more goes into it than just him, not being good enough or whatever. So I'm speaking up for him, basically,
Yeah, well done, mate. Well done. You need players like yourself.
All right. Well, let's go to Dom from Malaysia, driving in the car all the way over there. In Malaysia is like the next.
Gone, Gary.
But Gary, you can stay if you want to, man. No, you don't have to leave. But Dom, how are you doing, mate?
I'm good. I'm particularly good.
We're finished above Man U.
Hey.
Okay, I mean, you can hate me for saying this, right? But that's kind of all I kind of wanted, because it's good to do this in my lifetime. Last time we did that was 77, right? So it's good to do it in my lifetime. Once again, maybe unpopular opinion, but for a long time we thought the green away jersey was cursed. So I think we should get a bit more than 3 points for that win, because it was away. We wore that stupid green jersey. After 3 goals, I didn't smoke as many cigarettes, but come second half, I'm glad I had more cigarettes. So it's like being Newcastle, that we can't even, we're 3-0 up. I can't even have a relaxing game to watch. Being 3-0 up, we can't even have a relaxing game. It's ridiculous. But anyways, you can't be a Newcastle fan without like 2 or 3 heart attacks throughout the game. No, but I'm good. I'm really, really happy. The lads really happy. I'm happy because look, whatever happens next week is out of our hands, right? So we did the best we could and finished above MU. Then the rest, just leave it up to the football gods, innit? So
that's right.
well.
That's right.
That never ends well when Man United's involved with Newcastle. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too. But we shall wait and see. I don't know what Roy was saying. Oh, DX is in the background as well. Look at DX. DX, we gotta check your background. Look at DX's background. Come on.
Hey! Not bad, eh? Not bad.
You got
Look
the
at
funny
that.
backgrounds. You got the funny backgrounds. All right. Well, we can do it like this so we can see.
Got a 9-ball.
DX, what's your performance? What's your thoughts on the performance?
Performance of DX.
My performance was pretty good, thank you. What was it? Yeah, my kind of like review of it. I guess I was quite happy. I thought first half we did a good job. There was some standout players. Lewis Hall, as always, fantastic. And then I thought going forward, we always looked a threat. Second half, obviously, Brentford. We were so close, I think, to just quietening their crowd down. If we got that fourth goal, Isak had a couple of little sniffs. I don't think they would have had any kind of comeback, and we would have smashed them about 6-0. But when they got back into it at 3-2, it was an interesting game, and they could have got something from it. And then you see the Man U score, and you're fucking hell, this is going to so Newcastle-y. But I'm quite grateful to their goalkeeper. I thought it was shocking today. Actually, the Isak goal he should have saved, and the free kick, I don't know what he was doing. He just pushed it straight out to one of our guys. Pleased to see Pope back. I thought he was decent today. He was good, actually. He made a good save or two. Good with the ball, the crosses. Very comfortable. Felt don't know, a bit of serenity having him at the back. And the 2 goals we conceded were obviously not his fault, really. So, I mean, Visser, that was a hell of a strike, wasn't it?
Yeah, great.
Yeah, amazing. So there were some good signs. I just wonder if a few of those little things at the end, bringing Trips on for a few minutes, Wilson, Dummett, if that was like their farewell little appearance, maybe.
Maybe. Thank you. Thank you, Mason. Hold on. Thank you, Mason. Thank you, Mason, for letting me know my mic was messed up. Nobody out here let me know that my audio was horrible. Thank you, Mason, again. Where are you at, by the way? I want you to join the link. We got one more. All right. So, well, again, I think it was a good performance tonight, at least. Now, if you want to get back to we're going to read some comments here in a minute, by the way. The people have been commenting, especially when Gary came on, the Gary Mon, he certainly ignited a few, topics of discussion about fans this season and complaining and whatnot. I think that we cannot, even though we're happy, joyous, we still have to qualify again, clarifying that. But this cannot erase mistakes that we've had all season. And
we'll have learned from them, though, Chris.
We got to learn from them, of course. But my thing is with that, Gary, you say fans should Neil, I see you in the background, by the way. Give me a second. Fans should be just supported, and it's not just, we all should support. When kickoff starts, when the match starts, everybody needs to be focused on winning the game. Everybody needs to be supported. The whole stadium needs to be supported. Now, when that's done, and before kickoff, you can talk, you can criticize if you feel like you need to be criticized within reason, because like you're saying, if any fan, the only game that we won 7-1 was Sheffield, so or was it 8-1, wasn't it? 8-1.
8-0.
8-0. So if anybody is criticizing the team on that, or any performance that any match that we beat them with clarity, then that's not proper. I mean, obviously, it doesn't make sense.
Really, my point, Chris, is that I think people are a bit unrealistic at times, and there should be more understanding about what's going on. There's reasons why one player is great one season and then he's off the next. There are reasons behind it. To just blindly criticize them is just very negative, and I just think it displays short-sightedness on their part.
Okay.
The problem that you've got is, hang on a second, Chris, sorry, if I can just respond to that. You mentioned before things that go on in the background. 99% of fans don't see what goes on in the background on the training pitch, what's going on in players' personal lives. We can only comment on what we see on the pitch. And that's where Gary's right, there's been times I've nailed Longstaff, and when I've woke up in the morning, I've been a little bit harsh there, and you don't know what's going on. But in the motion of what's going on, i.e. Trippier over the Christmas, we know something's went on in his life, and he had to go out run a form. We know that personal lives interact with form. It happens, but you can only be judged on what you do on the green base, as I call it. and that's all we can call.
I think that just people need to be a little bit more understanding, you know.
No, I get that. I'm with you. You know, I'm sure sometimes if I thought about that, I wouldn't say what I say, and I'm sure that there's other people that would agree with us. But we have got to keep it to. We only can make an opinion on something like this after what we've seen over 110 minutes or whatever.
Exactly. Now, one second, Paul. I think you got to go, don't you?
Yeah, I'll shoot off, guys. But,
all right, mate. Have a good one. Thank you for coming on. Great
Hey,
stuff.
See you in Estonia.
See you, man. See you.
Latvia, man. How are
lady boys?
In Latvia. There we go. So we got Paul.
Paul.
We're gonna bring Neil. Neil, Newcastle United fan, of course, a regular watcher on the show. Neil, what is your thoughts on the game tonight, man? Welcome, by the way.
Oh, man.
Do you hear me? Neil.
He's there. Niall, not Neil.
Oh, Niall. Sorry. I think.
Niall, yeah.
Oh, your connection's
I think
not the best.
we got a choppy connection here.
Messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, your connection, mate. You might have to jump out.
Bad.
Yeah, you might have to jump out and come back in, maybe. Very choppy though, very choppy. But let me go with Mason first, and then you jump out and jump back in if you want to. That way it might fix the issue. But Mason, mate.
Yeah, no problem.
Mason, brother, we won tonight, bro. How you feeling?
Please, but we did it the hard way.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
But the fact is, if anybody hasn't alluded to, we've actually finished above Man United.
Yeah, no, yeah, we mentioned it.
Pretty much. Probably the
first time in 47 years.
Probably the thing I wouldn't have seen in my lifetime, but we've actually done it.
Yeah.
But it all depends what happens next Saturday in the cup final.
And doesn't it feel good to be the team responsible for knocking Man U out of European football?
It feels good. 100%.
Well, we'll have to find out. Out if they win the cup.
They're not going to win the cup.
Yeah, I highly doubt it.
It's Man United we're talking about, you know.
We've got
the football gods.
We've got to seventh with a squad that's been decimated with injuries.
Well, let me
imagine what we could have hit if we'd got a full team there.
What, 8 points off fourth? 8 points.
Let me welcome.
Go that far.
Let me welcome
Imagine
Neil.
if you didn't screw up and lose it.
Yeah, let me welcome Neil. Neil, welcome to the channel, man. Can you hear me now?
Niall.
Sorry, Niall.
Like the river, Niall.
You're pretty good with names.
I'm the worst at names, man. Niall, do you hear me? By the way, I've been calling him Neil for the whole time he's been watching. None of you corrected me.
He's never corrected you.
And none of you have.
Let's listen to Niall.
Niall, you there, man?
Just, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think we're having it
really slow.
Mate, we're having issues, mate, and we're having internet issues. We can't hear you. We can't get you on, unfortunately. But maybe we can try next time, bro.
Let's see if we can
try just the mic. Take the camera off and just have the mic. Try that.
No, it's clearly the internet, man. He's lagging. He's lagging heavily. So we're gonna try it again, brother. I appreciate you, though, Neil, for coming on, man. And hopefully,
Niall. Poor old Niall.
He's going in with a hat on, I think that's what it is.
I'm gonna be bothered with all the shoot.
I love that. You see, look at it. Gary, just listen to how we are now because we've got a result. And that's what I'm saying. We have emotion after the results. And every time you come away from a game, regardless of how they've played, you're going to get a reaction from that, whether it's positive or negative.
Yeah,
and that's exactly the same as the guys on the panel. And that's the game, it's exactly the same as the people like your good self who come on board and have a discussion with us. They're just venting their feelings.
My point, though, is, and I'm not saying people don't have the right to do that, right? I mean, I do it myself. But at the same time, I just think people go a little bit overboard about it and they're very, very a knee jerk about their reactions, and you've got to just take a minute, sit back, and think about it before you start lambasting somebody. And I mean, some of the comments have been pretty cruel.
Well, yeah, I agree with that too. But the players also, whether I don't know that any of this. Well, if it's in mass in social media, it might get to them personally. But we don't also, if you over criticize somebody, because it might happen in the heat of the moment, you might call them names. You might, which is not. I mean, each in this channel here, we have a big disclaimer. Every opinion is up to each individual that's saying it, and not a representation of NUFC Talk TV. So everybody's got their opinion. However, it might go overboard sometimes. But nobody, when somebody's criticizing, and the Mighty Win saying that what's his name, Dan Byrne is same as Beckenbauer. Nobody comes on and routs and shouts and says that. How could he say that? No, nobody complains when they get praised, overpraised. But a lot of people complain when people. So
yeah, I'll tell you what it is, Chris. Right, is at the bottom of it all for me is I've been disappointed in those people. That's really like what's kind of got under my skin. I feel a bit let down by them, because they've been less than supportive, really. And when you think about it. Now, looking at the whole season's finished. We're going to get into Europe next season. Don't you think that Eddie and Mad Dog, the staff, and every player who's took to the pitch deserve an absolute massive round of applause?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I will agree on that. Just based on obviously everything that's going on this season. Again, I'm not going to erase my personal beliefs that we made mistakes in games.
But Chris, is it not just the same as if you asked all of us on here, we'd probably say Lewis Hall had a good game, but Gary disagrees. It comes down to
it's not Gary. It's Steve. I think Steve said. Yeah. Steve said
on his first half. I don't know.
Get him out.
The first half performance, I think he was just too slow in his reactions, made mistakes. It's like the last game he played against Man United. The Man United player nudged him off so easy because he got no weight behind him. He needs to beef up in the summer.
I think he looks quite
But
big.
now, Steve, he's now starting to feel like one of the team because he's got a few games under his belt.
Yeah.
And I would think that Eddie had a word in his ear at half time there and said, right, do it this way, because he was a different player in the second half.
He was absolutely.
He was tearing the midfield apart, and these runs were just absolutely at times were just a joy to watch. And he all the threat coming down the left was all from Hall.
Right.
Next season he'll be absolutely.
I even went overboard and say that he was the man of
what I saw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
yeah.
The thing is, I even went a little overboard and said he was the man of the match. I thought he was great.
I was thinking that, Chris, at a point in the second half, I thought this guy is up for man of the match here.
Because he had an attacking play, and he was dribbling past players, and then he loses the ball, I think, or somebody they just make a defensive play, and then you see him running back and defending essentially the same play. I thought
for me, it's committing players. He commits people.
He got a technical assist if you think about it, because it was him that got the free kick on the edge of the box that should have been a penalty.
Beat two guys. Cool. Yeah, that's worth talking about, isn't it? How the hell was that not a penalty? Like, I know he had one foot outside the area,
but if the other one is inside,
the other one's where the contact was. I've just been reading the law.
Where the contact was. Foot in the air, hit his knee outside the area.
It's so ridiculous. I just think that's a dumb law. I really do.
That's going to be one of them ones, isn't it?
Rule 13, if anybody's interested.
Wow.
It's in a rule, but it's 0.44.2. If it's just
Appendix 7B or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It only comes in. It only happens if you wear black and white stripes. That's what it says here.
The positive out of that is next season, what a pair of fullbacks we're going to have.
Yeah, I think
Absolutely, absolutely.
they've got to be first starting.
And you know
players,
what? You know what I loved about Lewis Hall recently is the fact that he's actually come out himself and stated that he wasn't ready to play for us. I know a lot of fans were, worried about what was happening behind the scenes and questioning Eddie Howe's, judgment of whether he picked the right player or not. There was lots of rumours going around about his behaviour behind the scenes, and Lewis Hall just wasn't ready. So, when a player moves, especially a young player like him, away from his family, away from his friends, there's a lot of adjustments that need to be made to you personally. And
remember, he's only a 19-year-old kid.
Absolutely, new digs, everything. So he then, after having that support from his management team, come out and spoke openly about him not being ready to play. And I think that's what you're seeing now. You're seeing a lad who's got to that wall, needed the hand to get over the wall by the team around him. And I said the team because it's not just the manager. It'll be everybody that's part of that team. Exactly. And that includes the players that are by his side.
Same thing with Gordon, wasn't it? Gordon had the same sort of experience last season.
Harry, you remember when he first came on in his first games, and his confidence was just not there. And now compare it to today, he was supremely confident. In fact, he was running a show down the left.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree.
The thing that encourages me is when Tonali comes back, you're going to have Lewis Hall's going to have a license to get forward because we're going to have a midfielder there that's going to cover that spot better than we have at the moment. Whether it's Joe Linton on that side or Tonali on the other side and Bruno in the middle, God forbid we don't lose either three of them. But I'm telling you, them three will allow the wing backs to get forward.
Right. Guimaraes, I heard a little rumour today.
Oh no!
It might not be out there. It's a mate of mine knows a guy that's just been employed by Newcastle. Rumours are City have made a inquiry about Guimaraes. And
not surprising, though, is it?
And if the money is right, there could be a bid going in. They've actually asked permission to speak to Guimaraes.
Steve, can I counter that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can counter it.
You look at Guimaraes' celebration after his goal with the fans right today. Does that look like a player who's going to be leaving that club?
Guimaraes hasn't been approached himself yet, as far as I know. Man City have just asked permission to speak to him. That is all that's been done at the moment. Guimaraes has not been spoken to about it yet. At the end of the day, it's only in the early days of an actual connection between Newcastle and Man City. And the other thing I've heard is that we may also already be speaking to 4 of the players leaving Man United. Don't know if it's true, but that is just what I.
Does that include Bruno Fernandes?
I don't know. I don't like him anyway. I don't like him.
But if they're talking to 4 of them, is it not just that if they need any help packing?
I won't be surprised if one of them. I won't be surprised if one. I won't be surprised.
That's just something I've heard from
Go Mason. Go
Mason.
Go Mason.
I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if one of them's for Varane.
Hey, I'll be in for that. I'll be in for that.
My mate was actually mentioning him the other day. So
I'll be in. And Casemiro. Bring him on to the bright side. Mighty when you're muted, by the way, in case you want to talk.
I was going to say that might win you.
He's picking.
And now he can't hear us. He's taking the headphones off.
Mighty Wayne, you're muted, by the way. You take your earwax on national television, man.
We've missed some of your gems, Mighty Wayne.
But anyways, no big deal. Let's go to the comments because a lot of people have been talking, all the fans, and it's time to give them their platform. Foxy, delighted. Foxy says, delighted with the win, delighted with Europa Conference. A lot of work to do with our fragile defending, considered nearly double what we need last season. What we need last season. Gary Mon, you said this after the problems we've had to qualify for Europe is excellent. Well done to everyone. What a mammoth task and achievement. And what a player Lewis Hall is. There you go.
AG, yeah, Hall grew into the game. We have a player and a half there. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think we need to invest on left back. We're pretty good, and even with Lloyd Kelly coming on, I will tell you one thing though. We saw, and that was the play that me and Gary Thomas were talking about. That Lewis Hall was playing as a 10 almost at times, and he was distributing the ball. He's originally a midfielder, ladies and gentlemen. Know that he's originally a midfielder. So it wouldn't surprise me if later on you see him kind of there in the midfield if needed, and maybe Lloyd Kelly on the left side. But
he's very like Rico Lewis, isn't he?
Yeah, but so when you get those types of assets,
hopefully not like Jamal is.
You have you have the capability of switching things up.
Well, Chris, you notice how many times Hall will sneak into the back of the 6-yard box when crosses are coming over. You know, he's great at doing that, and he's already proven he's got goals in him.
That's right. Beer Biking, Longstaff doesn't want the ball. As soon as he gets it, he releases it. Refuses to go into challenge. Mighty Mag says Gary squeaky bone time at 2-3 when we're 2-3. But Bruno was having none of that. Beer Viking, candles in the chat for Man U, European hope for their European hopes. Yeah, man.
Let's not get too cocky. Let's not get too cocky.
Yeah, that's right. We got another game left. AJ,
yes, we do.
Where's Roy? We want that chin shaved. Yeah, Roy, you can run, but you can't hide, mate. But
I'm just watching the Man City celebrations here.
I just
hope they don't over celebrate and
roll
over at Wembley.
As long as Grealish isn't there,
that's right. That's right.
Who amongst us then thinks that we're going to win a European trophy next season?
I think if we're in the
I think we're in the conference league, we win.
Conference
we win it, damn it. We win it.
We've got to get in it first. Let's just get in it.
We've got to get in it.
We got to get in it first. Let me keep reading the comments. Let me keep going through the comments. By the way, Roy, again, man, we're waiting on you, and you're going to do it live. If you already done it, you don't even come to the channel because you got to do it live. And I will.
Oh yes.
I forgot. We're not done. Wait, I said Europe. We're not in Europe yet. We're not in Europe.
Your hair's pretty short already. So
we're not in Europe yet. Roy said if we finish above Man U as well, so he's got to do it. So I would love to do it, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Man.
We want a skinhead, Chris.
We got to do 2 different shows about that too. Farmer says I was curious to see if Isak and Barnes could pick up their game in the absence of Gordon, and that was very nice to see. Yeah, that's right. No, a lot of people said, "What is Barnes coming on?"
How do we feel like Barnes played today? I thought he scored a great goal.
I like him. Man.
What a header!
I didn't think his performance was that great, but his goal was good.
Oh,
the ball in is unbelievable.
Yeah,
the ball in literally.
Doesn't do a lot though, does he? Really? Sorry.
Yeah.
That was a huge positive though as well that I'd forgotten about actually for to win that game as we did without Gordon.
Yeah,
that was massive.
Farmer after the I think when Steve was saying about Hull not playing good, well he says Hull did make a couple of mistakes in the first half and we were lucky they didn't result in goals. Are you all forgetting? Watch the replay of the game and it was a tale of 2 halves.
One of them was someone just blasting the ball at his foot.
That's agreed.
Don't know what he could do with that.
And Gary Maud on this right now, he said,
"Yeah, Gary, the first half he wasn't though."
Well, the first half might be.
Right
we'll let you go on that, man. Kenny says going to look like complete idiots if Man U win the FA Cup. Well, yeah, but listen, we're Toon fans, man. We
got to keep them.
Yeah.
If I'll tell you what, if Man U win the cup, I will come on here with my camera and show you all me bare horse.
No. You don't need to do that. No, that's fine.
I think I'd rather see Roy.
Save that for another channel. Save that for another.
I think we'll be Arit, mate.
We're good with that.
Mandy Pyle says
we've got something to look forward to either way.
No. It's gonna be
God. It's a win-win-win.
It's a win-win-win.
You're gonna be showing a full moon is gonna be out, man. No.
Blue
I was going to say I'll show you something, but you need a hell of a zoom. So
Mandy Powell says over the moon with that win. Now come on City to win the FA Cup.
Come on, City.
Foxy
Yes,
says
okay.
we can criticize players, but this season parts of the fan base have turned into clear abuse, which isn't right. Burn Longstaff, Dubs, Miggy, and especially Rodrigo. Hey man, don't touch my Peru. Don't touch my Peruvian. I keep telling people this. There's only 3 Toon legends that's Peruvian: Nobi Solano, Rodrigo Vilca, and myself, man. You know,
I nearly actually bumped into Nobby on Friday, was it? Him and Rob Lee were sitting drinking in Blythe, meeting with Ollie Bernard at the Masons, and my mate was a taxi driver, and he said Rob Lee's just been picked up at the Phoenix Theatre. I missed them by about 2 minutes. I was gutted.
Yeah. There's a video going somewhere. I don't know whether if it's on NUFC, but there's a video of Solano and
Nobby and Almiron.
Miggy.
Almiron, yeah. It's all in there.
Nice.
Their
I haven't watched that yet. I'll have to have a watch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good video.
All right. Kenny says we used to say we win, lose, draw. We don't care as long as they tried. But now, due to investment, we moved on from that. Yeah. Well, it might take.
Can I ask a question? Does anyone think this is Wilson's last game?
Yes,
I do.
I hope not.
I think so.
I hope it isn't.
I think he's out. He wants to leave, I think.
I just think he actually took these toys out of Pram, because Isaac took that penalty off him.
Yeah.
It would. And plus, we didn't get the penalty anyway.
No, that was the previous penalty.
All right.
The missed one. What was it against?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, let's keep going. So there's a few comments before
But a
we
good
finish
sing
up.
off the crowd, though, didn't he? Let's be honest. There was a period when he came on, and he got a good sing off the crowd. I thought it was quite nice.
Right. Godfather says Neil. He's responding to Niall. He's talking about Neil. He also said he acknowledged that he messed up too. But look, I thought it was Neil, man, and for the longest time, nobody corrected me. That's what sucks about it. Niall says, "Goat, we are a top 6 team, but poor team selections and reactionary instead of proactively making changes have lost us points, even with injuries. We are 3 players, in my opinion, of challenging for the league." Kevin Pryor, lucky at the very beginning when he said 1-0 to Brentford with Tony scoring. Oh yeah, that was a gutting. I thought it was over then, man. Because how
He didn't do a lot though, did he, Tony? After that.
Yeah. Then he tried. He had a header
from the back.
He had a header, which
he had a header,
but he fouled. He hacked Bruno, didn't he? But that's about it. Really.
Right. Yeah. And Jimmy says, at the end of the day, you can't just take praise without taking the criticism.
Correct.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so, all right. Well, those are some of the comments right there by the fans. Lewis, what is your take on the game, man? We just sorry we didn't get to you.
It's fine. Like, I think we did all right, but I'm still confused how we didn't get that penalty because you did get tripped outside the box, but you got tripped on the edge of the box. In my case, that's a penalty.
Yeah. I think.
Can I quickly come in? Can I quickly come in?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I've just seen this on Twitter. That's Gordon.
Yeah. That's just price, buddy. That is. Don't worry about that. That's just price. No. What they do is because of where the tendon's been hit, and because if you have a look at the action of the player's foot that went across him, it's like a jagged connection across. So what you've done, you get like a swelling. There's going to be no other issues there. So what you've got there is price protection, which is the boot. You'll have the rest, which obviously you need to be up in the air. You'll have the ice. It'll be compression and use the elevation. So that there is just giving him his foot 3 or 4 days rest. That's all. Don't worry about that one, mate.
I remember that.
All right. Well, listen, we had a great show, great reaction, of course, and great watch along as well. A lot of people tune into that. I appreciate everybody's support. Tomorrow is Monday, so we'll.
Hey, can I
have
just
another
put in
show.
for 2 seconds?
Yeah, man, go.
Just remember, we've finished ahead of Man United for a very long time.
That's right. That's right, man.
Yeah, Dom, you can have the
years.
final word there.
Where's
Listen,
Dom? Oh, there's Dom.
me, Dom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Go
a
on,
lot, Dom.
Or is it Neil?
Niall.
Okay, I don't really have a final word. I enjoy listening to everyone, right? But I'm still buzzing. I'm still buzzing over it. I thought we all did well, but I enjoyed watching Lewis Hall. Okay, but I found him a bit slow. You know, there was a through ball on the left, and he was just like, he looked really fast, but he was actually pretty slow.
That was in the last 5 minutes when he was.
I was going to say that was 88 minutes, mate, of playing in 30 degrees heat.
Yeah.
Come on.
Give them
It's only around 12 kilometers. It's all right, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Okay, hold on. I do have a last say. Am I the only one who feel that when Pope is between the sticks, right? I'm feeling much more confident. I mean, no disrespect to Dubs, right?
Yeah.
But when Pope is there, I'm actually so much more confident that instinctive save against Tony's header, I thought it was brilliant, right? And part of the fact that I didn't have more heart attacks throughout the game was because Pope was there, and I'm pretty confident about him.
It
Right?
wins
So,
hearts. I've
got no disrespect to Dubs, right? I love him for what he's done. You know, he's kept us through a very tough time. But
yeah,
I think you're right, Dom. Because I don't think Dubs would have saved that.
No,
yeah. That's exactly. Everyone on the table said the same thing. Everyone on the table said the
Brentford
same
keeper
thing.
wouldn't have saved it, that's for sure. What does Mighty Win think of that?
I think anything that Pope can save, Dubs can save. I don't. That's a cigarette paper, but
Yeah, right.
That's a
All right,
simple
well,
thing to
listen,
live
we
with,
gotta
by the
go.
way.
We gotta go, folks. We gotta go. Thank you so much for watching, listening. We'll be back tomorrow again at 10 p.m. UK. And more videos coming up. So, anyways, thank you so much. Away the lads.
Cheers,
Hopefully,
lads.
City
Away
wins.
the lads. We're going to Latvia.
There you go. Bye-bye.
Let's go.